Race 5 at Ascot jumps at 3:25. It's the Furphy Gimcrack Stakes over 1100 metres, the other feature race for the 2-year-old fillies this time. And our horse in focus is a returning clubhouse leader, so to speak, for the 2-year-olds. This is Specialism, who was tuned up with a recent trial at Belmont.
As the one outside the leader just wants to run around a bit as Exclusive Zulu gets up the track, and this allows a run for Divide the Sea, who now takes the gap, shoots through for Shooter McGruddy and goes to the top. On the outside now and taking the lead, it is Divide the Sea. They're trying to come back with Specialism, does a good job now. Divide the Sea needs to lift as Specialism found a kick. Space Gill through to third. They go to the line. Divide the Sea dived.
Specialism gets blinkers on for the first time in this event, and that really just shows a sign of intent that they would like to lead with this horse from gate 7. It does look a really tricky initial map. There's 5 first starters. There's a whole heap of different form lines coming together. But I think Specialism, the main aim with this horse will be to find the front, find the rail, and then find the victory. It does have some of the better form going around, and it will be really interesting to see how she goes on her return to racing. Second pick is a 6, Amelia's On Fire, who has done absolutely nothing wrong. It only has the one run to boot so far, and on that occasion, just ran a really impressive last 400 metres. It'll be interesting to see where she gets to in the run. I expect they'll try and seek cover with this galloper. Third pick is the 8, Rio Del Mar, who wasn't really suited in its first and only start. It seemed to slip as it came around the corner and then just was edged out late by the well-fancied Prim and Proper on that day. But Rio Del Mar did start favourite on that occasion, and I think for good reason. Fourth pick is the 1, Prim and Proper, who really since returning to racing this time round has been something of a revelation. It's just failed to knock off Nicovium, then it got the job done over Rio Del Mar, but did look suited on that occasion. But I have to respect the recent form lines. It's a really tricky race. For me, 3 on top, which is Specialism, 6 Amelia's On Fire, 8 Rio Del Mar, and 1 Prim and Proper. Race 6 at Ascot jumps at 4:05. It's the Grandstand Cup, the third feature on the card, over 1500 metres. It's a listed race. And our horse in focus is Variation, last seen resuming in the Bunbury Stakes.
Called upon a further 2, Falcon Crest, and Variation winds up. Vital Silver reaches the lead from My Greek Boy, Rebel King, Alpha Sky and Akanar Star trying valiantly. Tell him we're coming, trying to thread his way through. Vital Silver's the leader. Akanar Star trying to run him down. It's Akanar Star ranging up, grabs the lead. It's Amelia Park in the Bunbury Stakes.
I'm sure Connections would have been very happy to see Variation return in a sound manner. The horse itself, I think it was just looking for a bit of fitness first up, but if we go back to some of its previous form as a 3-year-old and in open class, it really has been impressive, and this distance looks suitable. Gate 1, you'd expect it maps in the first 4 or 5 runners, and Mitchie Pateman jumps on board, which is no bad thing at all. It goes on top for me from Akanar Star, who really has been ultra impressive so far. It's just been a model of consistency throughout its career. Gate 3, top weight, Shooter McGruddy can just put it into a perfect spot, and it will be the one to beat for me. The 2, Push and Shapes, is a horse that I think will improve this start out. It looked like it was just going round at Bunbury in the Bunbury Stakes behind Akanar Star for a bit of fitness, but it does map to be a little bit more forwards in this event, and I expect it to run a bold race at a little bit of each way value. And then fourth pick is the 8, Ms Lecky, who has returned with 2 really impressive runs. Just short of her PB, she will be back somewhere towards the tail end of the field, but if they can make ground and the races run to suit, she will be the strongest through the line. But for me, Variation, the 3 on top from 1, Akanar Star, 2, Push and Shapes, and the 8, Ms Lecky. Race 7 at Ascot is the Vernon Orr 70th birthday handicap over 2100 metres. It's scheduled to jump at 4:42, and our horse in focus is the 3, Mycroft, last seen in the Bunbury Cup.
Prying Tom's a length in front, Capo Doro. Mycroft back behind those. No saying it like a butterfly. Burger Time, he's a Parker. And now Come Play With Me coming from last at the 200. Prying Tom, Capo Doro, Burger Time, and he's a Parker. It's Capo Doro looming to Prying Tom. Burger Time, grab them both. It's a boilover, a burger boilover.
Mycroft was ridden a little bit more aggressively last start in the Bunbury Cup. It did make a fair bit of early pace, eventually settled on the fence and then into the breeze as Fathoms of Gold kicked up to take the lead. I think it will settle a little bit softer today, but Gate 4 does give Kate Whitten every opportunity from that barrier. If they go fast early, she'll be able to settle it with a bit of cover, and if they dawdle early, she can take up the pace. But with Beau Count in the field, who knows? It could be one of those races where they go incredibly hard, especially with a big field. It's on top for me from the 11 Upward Others, who we saw last week run another impressive placing, but really just got a little bit too far back. The speed itself does look suitable for this galloper. It may not have to go back to last. It could possibly sit just worse than midfield from the gate, because there is a few horses drawn wider than in this event. The 7 is third pick, Media Baron, who I'm not sure is suited from gate 1, but the race pattern will probably suit this galloper. If he can take the shortcut along the fence into the straight, he may well be there when the finishing post arrives. And then 13 is my fourth pick, Send My Love, who I thought was ultra impressive in the Apprentices race a couple of weeks ago at Ascot, and really does seem suited by the big field and the strong pace. The query is, will it be back last, or will Sean O'Donnell be able to find a little bit of cover a bit more forward in the field? 3 on top for me, Mycroft. I think it's a good bet in this field. From the 11 Upward Others, the 7 Media Baron and 13 Send My Love. Nightcap time at Ascot. It's race 8. 5:20 is the jump. It's the Congratulations Sandia Gallo handicap over 1,800 metres. And our horse in focus is Friaresque, last seen at Ascot, finishing quite strongly and just getting nutted by Forceful.
About to let go on the outside, has raced up to Rock on Tommy. Forceful's out wide, getting into the clear, but in the meantime, Friaresque has burst clear as well. Racing inside the 250. Friaresque has raced up, hit the front. Here's Forceful, though, finishing brilliantly. Wow, Pike, he's got the treble. Forceful has won from Friaresque.
On this occasion, Friaresque was a little bit tardy away, but then made up a lot of ground early along the inside of the field. Then proceeded to run a really nice last 600, last 400, and really just tied and Forceful with all favours came from the tail of the field under the weight of Willie Pike and managed to get the job done. I think Forceful will be out the back in this event, and Friaresque looks a little bit better suited by the gate. Should be able to find a position with cover with what looks to be a little bit of early speed as well. I think it's well suited and looks like it would be a nice each way price in this event. Second pick is the 6 Bella's Idol. So the last 2 starts since Mitchie Pateman's been rolling this horse a little bit more forwards, it's been something of a revelation. It's really been ultra consistent, running good times and finishing very strongly. So there's no reason to see why it couldn't do the same again. Third pick is the 8 Fair Scenario, who with Jason Brown on board, I think that's a really interesting jockey change. He should be able to just fire it across and take up the lead, and if there's any sort of on-track or on-speed bias by this stage in the afternoon, he should be hard to get past. And then fourth pick is the 2 Forceful, who is a big horse. It will need a fair bit of wind-up room, but it will be back somewhere in the field and finishing strong late. But for me, I just thought that the 5 Friaresque would be a nice each-way price in this event. So it goes on top from the 6 Bella's Idol, the 8 Fair Scenario and 2 Forceful. Time for best bets. For me, we're going to start early. Race 1, number 1, Excise Free. I expect it will be a reasonably well-supported favourite in that event. And then race 8, number 5, Friaresque, who I think will be a nice each-way price. If you'd like to keep up to date with us at Perth Racing, stay tuned and follow us along social media and also our website. That's it for me. I'm Pete Anthonus. It's been good to join you as always. Look forward to joining you again next week here on the box seat. Until then, good punting and go well.